Standoff started long before dawn. By the time we arrived in the dark, an army and police had pushed back suspended President Yoon Suk Yeol's angry supporters who'd camped out overnight hoping to stop his arrest. Some of those I spoke to were crying, others wailing, and they were fearing what was about to unfold. As dawn broke, the first officer ran up, came to the house, but were incessantly thwarted, blocked by a wall of soldiers protecting the compound. Reinforcement came but could not help. The door to Yoon's house stayed tightly sealed, his security team refusing the police officers' entry. For several hours, the investigators waited, the crowd outside growing more agitated until, after a series of scuffles between the police and security officials, they decided their mission was futile and gave up. This is totally uncharted territory for South Korea. It is the first time a sitting president has ever faced arrest, so there is no rule book to follow. But the current situation is nonetheless astonishing. When Yoon was impeached 3 years ago, he was supposedly stripped of his power. So have two law enforcement officers trying to carry out an arrest which they have legal warrant for, only to be blocked by Yoon's security team, raises serious and uncomfortable questions about who is in charge here. The investigation officer said they are abandoned and the efforts to arrest Yoon, not only because it is looking impossible but because they are concerned about their own safety. They said 200 soldiers and security officers linked arms, forming a human wall to block the entrance to the presidential residence, with some carrying guns. This is arguably part of Yoon's plan, leveraging a system he himself designed. Before he declared martial law last month, a plan we now knew he cooked up months earlier, he surrounded himself with close friends, loyalists, injecting them into positions of power. One of these people in the current head of security team who look up to the job in September, but although alarming, this situation is not entirely surprising. Yoon has refused to cooperate with the authorities over this investigation, ignoring every request to come in for questioning. This is how things reached to this point, where investigators felt that they had no choice but to bring him by force. Yoon is being investigated for one of the most serious political crimes there is, that is inciting an insurrection, which is punishable by life in prison or death. Yoon has also spurred on his supporters, who have gathered in force outside the residence every day since the arrest warrant was issued. He sent them a letter on New Year's Day thanking them for working hard to defend both him and the country.